Okay, so and digging right into American Amicable, I'll get into that where I was just looking at to some of the other things in a minute, but um, American Amicable has a lot of products that we'll dig into. Matter of fact, let me go right back to that. So if you go to American Amicable, your agent login for one, you log in, and it keeps kind of like a database of how many times you had to log in for different things, just to make sure it's you. But if you go to products at a glance, once you get into their main site here, you get to see this here, and it really breaks down all of their different products. Some that you know about final expense, older age, younger age, financial lifetime guarantee, guardian. Some of these policies are for their captive agents, of course. That's kind of like the thing that the attractive feature for like guaranteed guardian or term made simple. Some of those won't be available to like individual brokers, but we do have final expense, we have home protector, we have easy term. So this is the one that I'm going to be talking on today. So we do have another term life product with ROP options, with return of premium options, but they go into the available riders, which we'll go over. But I mean, a lot of different things, home protector, uh, a whole bunch of different types of annuities and things like that. So they got a nice spread, Express UL, a nice spread of products. But let's go ahead and look into easy terms, because that's what we're talking about today. So we do have, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit so it's easier to see if you're looking on I don't know if you're looking on a computer or device. But you got term life with ROP options, which I'll go into the ROP options a little bit more in detail in a few minutes. But again, you have your 10 years available from 18 to 70, 20 year from 18 to 65, and 30 year from 18 to 55. Um, ROP options are available for 20 and 30-year terms, while the longer ones, of course, if they're going to give you some money back, they want to make sure you're contributing to your plan, for a longer duration of time. Now, they only give you the ROP, as we know, at the end of the term. And this particular company gives 75% ROP. So 75% of all the premiums and everything they give back. Let me zoom out a little bit so we can actually see what categories we're looking at. So if you're looking at the minimum face amount, that's 25,000. You can get up to 300,000 in term coverage for this year. The policy fees, of course, all policies have fees that are kind of built in, but those are commissionable amounts that the agent gets paid for. So the cool thing about this is the underwriting is this is a simplified term, simplified issue, no exam. Telephone interviews are possible, so you can do it right over the phone. They have a liberal height and weight chart, which is good. And of course, they do the MIB and script checks. So they do check prescriptions and things like that. So this doesn't really have too much of like the table ratings as you see with some other ones, or different things, but that's fine. They have a lot of riders that can be done: critical illness, children agreement, accidental death, waiver of premium. There are no cost ones, of course, the terminal illness ones, and the confined care. So those are at no cost. Of course, you can do it on mobile app, mobile quoter, which we'll get into just a little bit as well. Again, voice and email signature options. And again, return of premium tobacco ages 18 to 40. So you see 40, if someone's a smoker, they can't get a return of premium option if they're over 40. So that's something else to also look into. Modal factors you can pay monthly, quarterly, and semi-annually. So that's that on the easy term. Now I'm just going going back to the main site. If you don't know, now you'll know. When you go into the main site, the mobile business tools is where you would do quotes and things like that. The mobile application is where you would do the e-app. The phone quoter is where you would do your quotes. And this is one of the carriers where you can do the app on the phone. You can do the app like on your cell phone. You don't necessarily have to be on a computer or device. So if you're writing an application on your cell phone, you can actually do that on your smartphone. So that's a cool thing. So let's say, for example, you want to go to write someone an easy term product. You would simply click that. You'll continue to quote. Let's just say we have a man from Illinois who's non-tobacco. He said he wants let's go to 20-year ROP. You want to pay monthly, and let's say he's say 37. Why not? So here, one thing I like about it, if you're doing mortgage protection or just a term in general, it's really easy to just kind of throw in a couple different, quotes all at one time. You know, let's just mess around with a few random numbers. So you can throw in 3 different coverage amounts. You can add different riders, child riders that they have those, different amount of units. So the accidental death benefit, disability, different things. You just click generate quote, give it a few seconds, and then you find out how much it is. So for this person, $100,000, 20-year ROP option be 69 bucks 28 cents, 101 10 for 150,000 and 175,000. So let's say for this example, this person has $100,000. They're paying $69.28 for 20 years. At the end of 20 years, they would get $75,000 back. This isn't a bad option. I mean, hey, you're covered for 20 years. It's 75,000. Here you go, bam. So that can always be, converted into another thing. It can be converted into an annuity. Can be converted into a whole life plan as growing compound interest. It can be, converted into so many things. So once you get that quote, you can go straight to the mobile application. You go back here, or you can even just go back to here and go back to mobile business tools. Either way, however you want to do it. And you will go to a mobile application. Make sure it's your writing number, your password should already kind of be populated there. And you would do a new application. Of course, we're going to do a mock one. We'll do another John Doe. Now, okay, see where you should have different options here. So we're going to go with easy term. As we know, home protector, you usually can get, it's another term product. You can usually get a higher range of coverage, more than 300,000. It's great for a term or mortgage protection type of deal. And so, of course, you want to select your state. We're going to go into the underwriting, or just kind of scale over the app a little bit. So again, American Amicable is one of the simplest e-apps on the planet, in my opinion. Very simple e-app. Only ones that are simpler are some of the guaranteed issue carriers or policies, because they just ask for pretty much just the general demographic information and checking. But you would get your personal information here. There's a tobacco use question. And again, some benefits and riders if you want to ask the question, hey, this is a part that some agents sleep on right here to get extra money. You've already quoted them 69 bucks. They say that's cool, but then you ask them, hey, would you like a waiver of premium option? And then you can kind of flex what What does that mean? That means if something happens to you where, say, for example, you're disabled and you can't work, or, something happens that totally cut off your finances for 6 months or longer, then guess what? You don't have to worry about paying your premium. We'll keep your policy active. You do not have to pay a premium. That could be great for someone who could have some potential health risk. Maybe they won't share, maybe some back issues or something that they can see themselves not working, or could have, a lupus issue, or maybe just a condition that sometimes take them out from able to work. Unemployment rider is a good one. Accidental death benefit. There's a total disability benefit rider. That means you're totally disabled. Critical illness, that's that was heavy on COVID time. People with, different critical illnesses. And you have children's riders. You can say, hey, we can cover your children for up to, $15,000. How many units of coverage would you like? Every, one unit is 3,000, two is 6,000. Just kind of explain it to them. And then you also have your, the type of plan, the easy 10-year, 20-year, 30-year. In this case, this would be an easy 20 ROP. So you will select that because this is a quote for a 20-year ROP. The payment modes are the same, bi-weekly, monthly, semi-annual, quarterly, semi-annual, and annually. This is one of the few carriers that you see a bi-weekly option. You usually see like a monthly option, but some people get paid every 2 weeks, and they're nothing's the same. They could get paid, just 2 weeks. So they may have some months where it's 3 paychecks, some months where it's 2 paychecks, and they just would rather just know that every 2 weeks, hey, my premium's coming out. So that option is also available. You can do payroll deductions where they just take it straight out your check. There's so many different options that you can do with this, which is pretty convenient for the client. If my policy is approved, I'll be interested in receiving a digital policy contract. That's one of the newer things where they just e-deliver the policy, like, yep, going to send it straight to your email. And so again, you can send it to the agent, the insured, or the owner. I personally like to send it to the insured, especially if the insured and the owner are the same person. And I usually just check here for date on approval. If they have like a birthday coming up like soon, and they're going to be an age older, like in the next few weeks or another month, like you may want to click save age, like, hey, like just in case they do have any medical mishaps that could prolong the approval of the policy or anything, you want to, hey, let's try to we want this policy, issued at the age and that I'm at, because once they get an age older, the premium goes up. After that, you will click quote, and it will give you a number of the quote, and then if 3 options will come up. It'll be like view PDF version of all of this. Another one would be continue to application, and then the other one would say go back, like maybe you have to fix something. After that, the underwriting is your typical risk assessment questions, AIDS, HIV, different type of medical conditions. And then this would be like personal info, like who the beneficiaries would be. It also would include who the payor would be, like the banking and all that information. And then the last section will be your agent statement. And if all things check out with the MIB and different things, sometimes you can get instant approval on these. I've seen it more. I haven't seen it really with the terms much, but I've seen it with the final expense product. Other than that, of course, they'll go to underwriting, and then they'll get back to you. You'll get like an email stating that they received your policy, and sometimes you're paid like the next day. On average, you're paid out the next following day. You get a statement through email, and then you're paid out.
Nate, let me jump in. So yeah, they term now, they do. Matter of fact, it's funny because I think today they have a product training on the easy term. And so now it is showing where it's an instant decision right on the screen.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So I think they're going to dive into that later on. It's one at 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then at 6 o'clock later on.
Yeah, look into those emails that y'all get that says, hey, we want to do a deep dive into whatever product it is. That's where you're getting the most up-to-date information. As again, some of these screens even look a little different. Thanks, Ron, for chiming in on that. I appreciate that, man. To definitely do your own due diligence, follow up with some of the individual carrier trainings. Of course, I always encourage that. But this is very, very, very simple. Any questions on anything with this product, easy term, ROP, how to do it, how to write it, anything like that? Everybody's pretty cool. So who would be the ideal client for this? This would be the client who is, I don't know, maybe may have a couple health issues, just a few, nothing major, maybe not like, recent heart attack or heart surgeries or brain or thing like that. But maybe just, maybe not the healthiest person, the easy term might be a way to go. And even if you're doing mortgage protection and you want to get, them approved, the easy term may be a little bit more lenient than the home protector, if that makes any sense. So the underwriting just a little bit more lenient with easy term. The health questions, it's a few other health questions that aren't asked in this one that are asked in the home protector series of underwriting and risk assessment questions. Other than that, it's an easy app to do. You pay pretty quickly, and that's that. It is something. One other subject I wanted to touch on before I'm actually done with this product, and that was I had it up here earlier when I was researching around, and that is the ROP. I want to dig into that. And for that, I went to, downloads. So if you ever need info, no, it wasn't downloads, I'm sorry. It was an order supply. Order supply is where you can always find certain things. Of course, I'm in Illinois, and I want some supplies on easy term. Which is an easy way to find things. And the agent guide is what I wanted to kind of dive into, and I believe it's page 14 that goes into. So look, I love how they break down what all the premiums are and different things like that, and how things work out, and rate plans and all of that. So all those numbers are there, but let me go ahead and get into he says again the age, tobacco, non-tobacco, male, what type of plan it is, how much the premiums are, all that's all broken down. But I want to jump into page 14 right here. So again, the ROP, again, for mortgage protection, that's always an attractive feature. And as we just saw, it can still be affordable. I think some other carriers that once you click that ROP option, it's almost double. Sometimes it's still rather affordable here with American Amicable. But I just want to read this here. The return of premium benefit provides a cash value that is payable at the end of the level premium period if the insured is living and the policy is in force on a premium paying basis. It is available at an additional premium. The benefit is an endowment that is equal to 75% of the base policy premiums payable during the level premium period, the policy fee, and the modal loading amount. Premium for riders or supplemental benefits attached to the policy are excluded. So it's going to pay 75% of all the premiums that you paid, the policy fees that are included, and according to the modal loading amount. Stuff like actual, extra riders and things like that, those things, it doesn't account for that when it talks about paying the 75% back. The return of premium, I'm going to read in cash value now. The return of premium benefit provides cash values within the first few policy years. Should the policy terminate early, the owner is entitled to a partial surrender once the cash value begins. The percentage of premiums returned increases yearly after the second year until it reaches 75% at the end of the level premium paying period that was selected. I wanted to touch on that because a lot of term policies don't have a cash value. This one does. So if the ROP option is selected, you are actually then also having a cash value that starts to be available after the first few policy years. So even if they, I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe they paid it for 12 years and then whatever, it lapsed or they want to terminate it or something like that, they will actually have a partial surrender, like they will actually get money back. So that's an option. A lot of term don't have cash value. This one does. So I kind of wanted to just touch on that real quick, just as a, oh, wait, can y'all see my screen? I just realized I don't think I even have it where, I'm so sorry. I'm reading this whole
No, we can't see it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was reading page 14 here at the top. And it, I pretty much just read all of this here and all of this here. But yeah, so you do get a cash value with these ROP plans. So that's rare for any kind of term policy that you actually can build a cash value inside that policy. So that's good. So and it builds up to 75% of the policy. So let's say you pay, maybe 12 years or so, then terminated it for whatever reason, you would still be entitled to get some cash back if you had that rider on your the return of premium benefit rider on your policy. Why is that? Because again, you're paying a little bit more for that type of policy for that reason. So yeah, they're not going to say, oh, you had an ROP, but you didn't pay the full 20 or 30 years. We just going to keep all of that. No, they're going to give you back, something if you cancel the plan or terminate the plan. Any questions with that? Anything at all? If not, then I'm done. Pretty much like those are the things I wanted to cover with Easy Term for AM. Again, very easy to write with, very easy, good customer service. This is one of the few carriers I have not had a problem with. They're easy to work with. I can't think of any issues that I've ever really had with American Amicable. So it's easy. Why some companies' favorite carrier, go-to carrier to go to, some riders is their go-to carrier to go with, just for simplicity alone, and quick payouts. I still believe, no, I believe they used to be paid upon issue, but I think now they pay up when the first initial
Draft.
is drafted. Yeah, that's when they pay out now.
Yeah.
Used to be different. I don't know what somebody, maybe they had a series of people writing bad business getting
I heard COVID changed a lot of that.
COVID could, okay, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I heard 2 years ago it used to be upon issue,
Yeah.
and now everything is upon draft now. So
yeah, I learned that well, not to say the hard way, but I remember I was expecting something and I was like, hey, what's going on? It closes like 3 days ago. And they were like, oh, but the first draft isn't until the 16th. And I was like, when do we start doing that? And they was like, yeah, that's what we do now. I was like, okay, I get it. So other than that, you can call it a wrap. I'll stop recording and